Hello everybody, this is Roger, and today we're going to be talking about the Tesla Model 3, Tesla charging, and what adapters that you should have with you, either if you're renting from Turo or if you have your own Tesla. I've rented one, I've went on quite a few test drives, and I've rented Tesla Model 3s 3 times off Turo. I've had them, if you add them up all together, almost a month of rentals. So just recently I rented the Tesla Model 3 Performance, which goes like 0 to 60 in a little under 3 seconds. First thing you'll get if you're renting is basically the Tesla access card, and this is used so that way if you rent it to somebody or valet parking, you get like a little, they give you a little card like this, comes in a little envelope, and they'll usually leave this for you to access and drive the car. In order to drive the car, you just basically touch this to the side pillar to open it, and touch it to the side pillar right around the camera area to lock it at night or when you're leaving it. When you get inside the car, you just basically swipe it towards the console. Once it's swiped, you can put it back in the case, or what I do is I put it in my wallet, because if you just leave that card there and you step on the accelerator, that card's going to go somewhere and it's going to be hard to find. So I recommend after you swipe it, you either put it back in the envelope and stick it in a beverage container, or you put it in your wallet and stick it in the beverage container, because I'm sure if you rent, especially a Performance, and you gun it, that card's going to be in the back seat or between the seats, or it's going to be hard to find. The first adapter I'm going to talk about is the 220 adapter, and this is the most convenient and probably the one you'll use the most. And basically what this does, it adapts a 220 plug to basically that's what your Tesla charger looks like when you plug it in the car, and you can tell this is the adapter that plugs in the car. So basically what you're going to be doing, most of your destination chargers and most of your home chargers are basically going to plug into this. And then then you can just see, I have a Nissan Leaf that I've had for 3 years, and I plug in at night at a charger across the street. It's a charge point, and that's the type of charger they use. And when I go to the shop to plug in my Nissan Leaf, that's the charger they use. So when I run a Tesla, if I just have this adapter, this will get me through. I can charge overnight at 20 to 30 miles an hour, and by morning, if it's 8 hours, it'll have at least like 240 miles of charge. So I ordered a Tesla truck, and this is something that you definitely want. If it doesn't come with it, which it should, you should definitely get one of these. And I don't know if you can read that, but it's just a basically 220, I think a J3 or whatever they call it, adapter. The next thing you should have is this comes with the car, it's your regular 110 plug, and you should have a long extension cord. This is a must, because if you ever get in a position where you're stuck somewhere and you can't find a charger, or you accidentally run out, you can actually hook up your extension cord off any regular 110 outlet and plug your car in. It takes forever to charge, but if you can get enough charge in to get you to a 220 or a Supercharger, it's going to be well worth it. And if you don't have this, you're going to have to get towed to outlet. So I would recommend at least 100 foot of cord, and try to get the thickest cord you can, at least like 10 gauge, because if not, it'll get hot. So, and it's really hard on the cord, and it might cause an error. So there's less resistance if you get a thicker cord. So get the thickest extension cord you can, and try to get at least 50 to 100 feet. And that way, I think your cord's like 10 or 15 feet, and then you'll have an extra 50 or 100. So there's a pretty good chance you can pull close enough to something to where you can plug in, at least get 6 to 8 miles an hour that you might have to sit there for an hour or two, but if you have this capability, you might be able to make it to a supercharger, you know, or a 220 charger. So that's definitely something I would keep. Also, too, it comes with some adapters. So, say you're at a friend's house or you're at home and you have a dryer outlet nearby, you can unplug this, and it comes with 2 dryer plugs. So, you either have this plug or this plug, right? And I'm sure you can buy additional plugs because sometimes you have an older outlet, and if you're at home, you can basically change the outlet out or add one by going to Home Depot. And I've added one at my mom. I added 2 at her house. I added two at the shop. And my uncle's house, I added basically it's just a 2-pole breaker, a little bit of 10 gauge wire, 8 gauge wire, and then you just buy a dryer outlet of your choice, and you just order the matching charger for your car off Amazon for like $150 or whatever. So, but these 2 are definitely needed, and I would get as many options as you can, so that way you can plug in at any dryer outlet possible. So get a variation of this, and what's nice is you can just plug that right in, so you don't have to carry a bunch of cords, you just have to carry the adapters. So we're going to go ahead and put this back in. Just pops right in. And then there's also 2, here's like a 90, so, or an adapter. I guess, oh, this is the other plug you can use. So say you have, instead of getting another one of these, here's an adapter plug. Well, let me see here. Okay, here it is. Here's an adapter for the 3-prong, because this is you got a couple 4 prongs. This adapts it to the 3-prong. This is the old school. This is the one I have at my shop. So I could actually use this for plugging it at my shop. So that's pretty cool as well. Alright. So those are all the adapters for the 220 and the 110. So basically you got almost everything covered. You got 3 different types of plugs for dryers. So I don't know if there's probably other variations, but those are the 3 main ones. Old school, and then you got the 4-prong, and then you got the 4-prong with the twist on the bottom. So that's that. The next thing we're going to talk about is the Chademo charger. Now this is a little bit more expensive, but this could be very nice to have in your arsenal of chargers, because I just used this last night. I rented a car, and it had one of these in it. And I have a Nissan Leaf, and I was familiar because the Chademo charger is what the Nissan Leaf uses for their quick chargers at their dealerships. And I wasn't totally positive this would work, so I went ahead. I had 100 miles, around 100 miles left on the Model 3 Performance, and I went to the Nissan dealership last night, and I was able to plug the quick charger at Nissan for free into the Model 3. And it was charging at like 150 miles an hour. So it's not quite as good as a supercharger, but it's a lot better. It's like 5 times better than a 220, and it's 100 times better than a wall socket. So if you're out on the road and you can't quite make it to a supercharger, this is something excellent you can have in your arsenal, because you can stop at almost any Nissan dealership and charge for free at their Chademo quick charger. So you have to go online and see what this is, but it's probably $200 or $300. I think I checked it out before, but wasn't interested at the time. But I'm going to get one of these because I ordered a Tesla Cybertruck, and this right here could save you a lot of time if you can't quite make it to a supercharger and you don't want to wait for your destination or your regular 110 plug. So, well, this is about sums it up. This is your little Tesla little charger kit that comes in, but I'm going to go over this one more time. You need a 50 or 100 foot extension cord with at least a thicker gauge, like at least 10 gauge wire. Don't get the 12 or 14. Try to get the lowest you can. Like if you start out, like 14 is like house wiring, and 12 is like old school wiring for houses, and 10 is what you want. Anything under that is even better. So I would start at 12 and 10 and see how thick of a cord you can get gauge wise in your extension cord, because it's going to make a big difference in the heating. Okay, and then we have the regular charger it comes with, and you got two adapters which pulls out and plugs in, so you can do any dryer outlet. And then you have the adapter for the dryer outlet, so you not only have the two 4-prongs, you also have the 3-prong old school. So almost any dryer in the United States you can plug in and charge at level 2, which is 20 to 30 miles an hour. But my favorite one, and the most important one, would be this one right here. You can put it in your pocket. I actually keep it in my cup holder, or I keep it in the pocket in the door. This thing right here, you should keep and know how to use it. Basically, it's most of your J3 plugs fit right into here, and it fits right into your Tesla. This one right here, I've used many times, and I actually use it at my house, at my mom's house, and I also use it across the street at ChargePoint. This is going to be your destination charger, your overnight charger. This is going to charge at 20 to 30 miles an hour, and this is probably what you're going to be using 90% of the time. The only time you're going to be needing anything else is in an emergency, or you're at someone's house and you need an adapter to basically charge, because they have a different style outlet on their dryer. And if you're not using a supercharger, this would be the next thing. This would be the Chademo adapter. If you can't afford it, I understand, but this is something that I would probably have, especially if I'm traveling, because you never know, like if there's a supercharger down, or you go somewhere where there's not a supercharger, but there might be a Nissan dealership, or there might be a Chademo charger. So this is definitely something that you should have in your arsenal. It might be later on in your arsenal, but if you travel a lot, this would definitely be something I would get. And also too, it's free charging a lot too. So anyway, if you like this video, please crush the like button and subscribe. We're over 500 subscribers, and we're going to get more into Tesla, and the closer I get to the Cybertruck. So this is Roger with Roger's Reviews. I appreciate you watching, and keep watching, because we're going to keep bringing you better and better content. Have a great day.